with Anya from Spurs.com.
Hey, Patty. First, congrats on the award. And on that same note, you're the first Australian to win it. And to be the first for doing efforts in Australia, does that feel a little extra special, or what does that feel like?
Sorry, Anya, you broke up there a little bit. I missed the first part of your question.
You're the first Australian to win the Community Assist Award. How does it feel to be the first Australian for doing Australian efforts in Australia?
Oh, right. I think before that, I think, winning an award that's been named after a San Antonio legend Spur and Dave Robinson, and to do it as a Spur, I think that's the first honor that is a real privilege. And then obviously to be recognized, in the NBA in America for the work, doing back home. I think that's pretty cool. But I think, it's a combination of a lot of things. Obviously the amount of community work here in San Antonio, as well as back in Australia. But that's something that I've always been very appreciative and grateful for, not only the San Antonio Spurs organization, but the community in general. Welcome me in and being very supportive in all the efforts that I do back home in my homeland. And I think that starts with just my identity and who I am. And I think I've been very accepted for the whole time that I've been here, and that feeling of acceptance, it isn't that common, I should say. So that's something that I'm very grateful for.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anya. Let's go to Jeff McDonald. Jeff.
Unmute there. Hey, Patty, the game tonight. I mean, does it ever surprise you just how different two games can be back to back in the NBA, even if against the same opponent?
Sure. It's always going to be hard for a team to win both games, and that's the challenge that I think we've faced, the whole time this season when we have to play two games in a row. But it is a mini series, and you take it, a little bit like a playoff situation there. And for us, to give one up the other night, we had that fire under our belly to be able to execute the game plan better than what we did. There was no real significant changes there. We just had to play better. We had to do things better that we didn't do the other night, and came away with a good win. Having everyone contribute, I think, is important too. But the main thing here, the common denominator, I think, is just being able to string more of the 48 minutes together. There was a small patch in the other night's game where we did play, and we were digging ourselves out of a hole to bring it back to 3. And then a few, bad breaks for us, and we're back in that hole. But tonight, I think what got us over the line in the beginning was just our aggressiveness from the get-go. We gave the first blow, the first uppercut, as you'd say, and kind of, put the foot down and made sure that, we keep playing with that killer instinct. And we're able to do that tonight and string more of the 48 minutes together.
And secondly, Jakob does so many super important things for you guys. Do you just feel for him at the free throw line at this point? And is there anything you can do as a teammate just to keep his head up in that situation?
Mate, he's doing so many more valuable things for us than making free throws that it does not even matter. He's proven how valuable he can be each and every game, whether it's screening, whether it's rolling, whether it's on the boards, whether it's deflecting shots, blocks, all these types of things. He's becoming one of those bigs that's just all over the place. And for our team, what we have right now, it's exactly what we need. And he's starting to feel it out and being very impactful every game. If he makes a free throw every now and again, that's a bonus, and we'll take it.
I appreciate it.
Let's go to Tom Orsborn.
Patty, you talked about coming out and being aggressive. How much did Rudy factor into that? It looked like one of his most active games all over the court.
Yeah, a lot. I think, tonight it seemed like it came easy for him and not forceful. And it seemed like that, at patches the other night as well. But he's obviously huge for us coming off the bench and being impactful on both ends. But when he's in that mindset and he feels good, his body feels good, he feels healthy, it makes a massive difference for sure. And, I think that goes for everyone in that sense. We're really becoming a team that, is relying on the person next to you to be able to, hold them accountable to do their job that will make you do your job. And that's the kind of feel in the locker room at the moment, to be able to share the workload. And I think that's where we're getting to. We're slowly starting to piece together our identity, and it obviously involves everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Tom Petrini.
Patty, you spoke about, the 48 minutes of effort, and, there was a stretch in this game after you guys started the third quarter, like 9 of 10 from the field. I think it was about 12 minutes of game time where you guys hit 3 total shots from the floor. How did you weather that portion of the game, especially as it came down to time to win it?
I think that's a little bit of our experience that comes into a little bit. I think we've created this something about us where we have been able to dig ourselves out of a hole probably more often than we would like. But I can tell you it's much easier to do when you're up by a significant amount. So if we're playing great teams with great players that they're going to make a run at some point. So to be able to weather a storm when you're up by however much is a lot easier than being down by 18 like we were the other night, right? And that takes a whole lot of energy out of you just to get it back to even. So I think you're right. Those start of the games, the start of the second half are really important for us to be able to make sure we get off in the right foot. And that's, again, talking about stringing more of the 48 minutes together and being able to deliver the first blow. I think that's obviously a really easy way of saying things, but for us to come out and deliver the first punch and really follow that up is important, especially at the beginning of the game and third quarter.
Thanks, Patty. Have a good one.
Patty, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.